Hey, what's up everybody? This is Charles and I welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and when we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. Today I got a pretty interesting episode and I'm going to enjoy talking about, so make sure you guys stick around for this. But before we do that, make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Anyway, let me get into this video here, which I'm going to enjoy doing. So we recently did a video where we talked about the comments that Mark Jackson made when he went on Club Shay Shay. Now, Club Shay Shay, obviously, as you guys know, is Shannon Sharp's show, right? He has his own show, and he interviews a plethora of people. But what usually happens during these interviews, especially when he's interviewing NBA guys, there are usually a few people that come up. Kobe, Jordan, and LeBron, right? And then during this episode, he asked Mark Jackson, how many points does he think Michael Jordan, if he played today in the NBA, how many points does he think he would average? And Mark Jackson basically said Jordan would average whatever the heck he wanted to average, right? He would do pretty much anything that he wanted to do. And I think that, I thought what he said was pretty interesting, because I think it spoke to the fact of just how much respect that just how much respect he had of Michael Jordan, but also his level of awareness of Jordan, because he competed against the guy and he knew that Jordan was the real deal. So for those of you guys who probably missed that video, who missed that entire clip altogether, before we go too far, I want you guys to take a listen to that exchange quickly, and then we'll get back into the content here so I can give you my thoughts on that. So take a listen to that.
I mean, you witnessed it.
Yeah, I saw it. I did. But I'm just like, man, when people say he averaged 40, 45, I'm like 50. I'm like, man, do y'all know how many points that is on a nightly basis?
Do you know what somebody say, Tom Brady, when he's 44, going to get 5 touchdowns and have 9 through 2 games, and he's going to be on pace for 50 plus. You'd be like, man, ain't no way no 44-year-old guy doing that.
Yeah, you know what? Having played in the era when they hit the quarterback everywhere except the bottom of his feet,
yep.
I was like, yeah, it's a different game now.
It is.
And I can see what you're saying. You're like, it's totally different. They could beat you up.
Right.
The hits that we got back in the 90s, in the 2000s, early 2000s,
right.
Yeah, they throwing somebody out of the league that hit Tom Brady like that.
So
now.
Brady's saying, I mean, he came out and said that the league is soft.
Right.
Well, with all due respect, he's right. So is the NBA.
Yeah.
So he's taking advantage of those rules.
Yes.
Jordan would take advantage of these rules.
I'm looking at this in game 2 of the
How many yards would you average if they can't think about the rules today?
Yeah. I was Travis Kelce before Travis Kelce, but I'm definitely getting me 100 a game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm gonna get me 1,500 yards a season. Absolutely. Because we were running then, I was blocking for 1,500, 1,700, 2,000 yard rushers. So we were running the ball more than we were passing it.
Absolutely.
You know what to do. Hit the subscribe button and become an official member of Club Shay Shay, where we do something before do something.
Now, after that, after he said that in the video we previously did, and we'll probably link it at the end of this video here, I gave kind of an in-depth explanation as to why I thought Jordan could average 40 plus points today. And I don't really think he would really have to break his back to do that, right? But one of our viewers who watched the video, right, his name is Tan Trend, and I want to give you a shout out for this. He sent me a clip that really put Jordan's scoring philosophy into perspective, because I had never, ever seen this clip before. And the moment I saw the clip, I was like, man, this is going to be a great video. So first of all, shout out to you, Tan Tran. That's your name. That's your name on YouTube. Thank you for sending us that clip, because it was really deep. So I saw it. And so before I go too far, what we want to do here is we want to play Jordan talking about the way, why he decided to score the way that he did in his career. So before we go too far, it's a short clip. Take a listen to this, and then we'll really get into the meat of this video. So take a listen to that.
Michael Jordan put on a 3-point shooting exhibition and a stunning performance, but taking too many threes can hurt his overall performance, according to Michael.
My 3-point shooting is something that I don't want to excel at, because it takes away from all phases of my game. My game is a fake drive to the hole, penetrate, dish off, dunk or whatever. And when you have that mentality, as I found out in the first game, of making threes, you don't go to the hole as much. You go to the 3-point line and you start sitting there waiting for someone to find you. And that's not my mentality. And I don't want to create that, because it takes away from my other parts of my game.
To show you the difference from the regular.
Now, in that clip, I thought there were 2 things that clip did, right, with Michael Jordan talking. I thought there were 2 things. One, it spoke to the mentality of Jordan as a player, right? Whenever we talk about Jordan, Kobe, and these guys, we say he's an assassin, right? He's a killer. He's always coming at you, right? He's relentless. Even if you talk about Allen Iverson, Allen Iverson was known for this, for being relentless. Jordan, according to the way that he broke it down, it basically seemed to me that Jordan always wanted to remain in attack mode. I think Jordan thought that by him taking longer distance shots, he was letting defenses off the hook, and he would take a lot of the opposing team's bigs and players out of foul trouble. But whenever he was always attacking the basket, he knew he was going to draw a lot of fouls. He was really going to, get maybe in this case, if they have a shot block off the floor, by him doing that, he'll be able to get them off the floor, because maybe he had the only physical prowess, maybe him and Scottie Pippen, of being able to get somebody like that off the floor, whereas some of his other teammates wouldn't have been able to do that. And I thought it was pretty interesting how he described it. Now, obviously, later on in his career, he had to develop his jump shot, right? Because he had to utilize his energy in a much more efficient way, right? As you get older, you want to pick your spots, especially on back-to-backs and all of these different stuff. You don't want to be out there driving. And I think once you develop a perimeter game, it enables you to sort of extend the longevity of your career, right? Because once your athleticism starts to go, your jump shot will always remain pure, given that your legs are still under you, right? So I thought that was pretty interesting. And I said in that video that we did, I thought Jordan, I think Jordan would destroy the league if he played today. I think he would absolutely destroy the league if he played today. And Shannon Sharpe, in his clip, he was talking about, he felt as if the only way Jordan can get over that 40 number was to take threes, because James Harden, when he scored 36 points per game for a season, he was averaging about 12 3-point attempts a game and making about 4.4 or something like that. Last time I looked up the stat. However, if you look at that Jordan 1986, 1987 season, I want you guys to think about this for a second. Michael Jordan in that season only attempted 0.8 3-pointers per game, and made 0.1, which actually amounted to, I want you guys to think about this, it amounted to this guy averaging 37.1 points per game. And that season, Jordan only made 12 3-pointers for the entire season. I want you guys to think about that for a second. The guy only made 12 3-pointers for an entire basketball season and still averaged 37.1 points per game. He attempted, in that season, the 86-87 season, he attempted 11.9 free throws a game, and he made about 10.2. In today's NBA, with the way things are opened up, with the way players are not allowed to hand check and really play physical with these ticky-tack fouls, this season they just took out the foul where you can, if you pump fake and a guy goes up and you jump into his body, you won't get the call anymore. You saw that with Stephen Curry. They didn't give him that call. I think if Michael Jordan played today, if he had that same mentality that he had, early in his career when he thought just attack, given the fact that they don't really have any great traditional bigs anymore to clog the paint. Usually right now what we have is a bunch of power forwards and in some cases small forwards playing the 5 spot. Jordan would absolutely dominate the paint in the NBA. And I think he would average about 14 to 15 3-point attempts, free throw attempts per game. And if he kept the same scoring average of about 85% that he kept in the 1986-1987 season, I think everything averages over 40 points or over 40 PPG in the modern day era, right? Or if Jordan wanted to do it, make his life a little bit easier, all he would have to do is just increase his 3-point attempts. If he attempted, let's say, 3 3-pointers a game and made 1.5, you're going to get some points. You're going to get 3 to 4 points on average every single night when he's playing. So for me, I think if Jordan played in today's NBA, he would totally terrorize the NBA. It would be devastating. There would have been nothing like him, and I think he would have. I mean, although the guy has 10 scoring titles, he'd have been putting up numbers, Wilt Chamberlain numbers. And I think, I think Jordan is an even more lethal weapon than Wilt Chamberlain. Obviously, some people are going to take great exception to that, but hear me out. First of all, Jordan has a higher overall career PPG average in the regular season at 30.1, and he also has the highest average in the playoffs, right, over Wilt. But the thing that's different between these two guys is that Wilt needed somebody to give him the ball. Where in the case of Michael Jordan, no one needed to give him the ball. He can get his own shot anytime he wanted at any point in the game. And to me, I think, given the fact that he would be able to dominate the ball and he wouldn't need somebody to, feed him the ball in the paint and all of these different things, he could just pretty much dominate a game the way James Harden did. And I think it would be much more efficient than James Harden. And this is why I think this is again one of the other reasons why I think Michael Jordan is the GOAT. This is just one of the reasons. It's not the only reason, but it's one of them. So what I want to know from you guys is, what do you think about what Jordan had to say. Number two, does this convince you further that Jordan could average over 40 points per game if he played today in the NBA? And do you think he can do it easily? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoy the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamers Pro. Wishing you guys an amazing day. Catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.